Let me tell you what the headlines got wrong lately. They treat RMDs like a boring checkbox. Just take the required minimum, like it's a form, like it's harmless. Here's the reality. The RMD itself isn't the trap. The trap is what it stacks on top of. That's where retirees get hit. And I think you deserve the full story. So here it is. I'm recording this video right now because this topic is quietly costing retirees real money. Comment where you're watching from so I can see how far these videos travel. And real quick, if you value calm numbers first retirement breakdowns like this, do me a favor. Subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so the algorithm knows you want more of this. Now, in case you haven't seen what I'm talking about, here's the claim making the rounds. RMDs are just withdrawals. If you don't need it, just reinvest it. Taxes are what they are, nothing you can do. And on the surface, it sounds airtight. But when you slow it down piece by piece and you look at tax stacking and timing windows, you realize the reality is more nuanced. That's clean. It's also incomplete. So I'm going to break down three things. First, what the RMD tax trap actually is. Second, how it sneaks up on normal retirees, not rich people. And third, the simple avoidance plan. What to do years before the trap springs, and what to do once you're already in it. So, let's start with what we can verify. RMDs are forced taxable income from certain tax-deferred retirement accounts once you hit the rule-based start age. That part is simple. The complexity comes from stacking. Here's the clean way to think about taxes in retirement. You have shelves. Lower shelves, higher shelves. Your income sources stack into those shelves. RMDs are the ears adding a box to the stack every year whether you like it or not. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most retirees assume retirement means lower taxes because they're not working. But retirement often replaces work income with multiple smaller streams. Social Security, pension, dividends interest, part-time work, plus RMDs. And those streams can stack into a tax result that feels higher than expected. So what is the trap? The trap is entering RMD years with a giant tax-deferred balance and no plan. Then getting forced into larger taxable distributions at the exact time you have the least flexibility to control them. That's the trap. Here's a question for you. Are you expecting your taxes to go down in retirement automatically? Comment yes or no. Again, no judgment. I just want you to see the assumption before it runs your plan. Now, the first place these stories get weak is just reinvest it. Because yes, you can reinvest the money after you take it. But the tax event already happened. The toothpaste is out of the tube. Reinvesting doesn't undo the stacking. So how does it sneak up? It sneaks up because the sweet spot years are quiet. That window after you retire but before RMDs ramp up, those are the years many retirees ignore. They're just happy to be done working. They keep taxes low. They withdraw as little as possible. It feels responsible. And then later, the faucet turns on. RMDs start. Social Security is on. Maybe a pension is on. And suddenly the stack is tall. That's when people say, "Why didn't anyone tell me?" I'm telling you. Right now. Now, could you just accept it? Sure. That's plausible. Here's how it can fail. Higher taxable income can reduce flexibility, can create bigger surprise bills, and can force bigger withdrawals than your lifestyle actually needs. You end up paying taxes on money you didn't even need to spend yet. So what does this actually mean for you? It means you plan for RMDs the same way you plan for storms, before they arrive. Now, here's a simple action plan. No drama. Step 1. Estimate your future forced income stack. Write down Social Security, pension, and a rough idea of what required distributions might look like relative to your spending. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. Step 2. Identify your planning window. For many retirees, the years before RMDs begin are the key window where you still have control. In that window, you can intentionally manage withdrawals and tax exposure instead of letting it explode later. Step 3. Decide on your strategy lever. The lever is reducing future forced RMD pressure by managing the size of the tax-deferred bucket over time and increasing flexibility by diversifying tax buckets. That might include taking some taxable withdrawals earlier, coordinating conversions in some cases, or other moves depending on your situation. The point is not the specific tool. The point is control. Write it down. Decide X first, then Y. Now, what if you're already in the trap? What if RMDs have started and taxes feel nasty? Then the plan shifts to integration and damage control. 1. You schedule RMDs in a rhythm that avoids year-end chaos. 2. You manage withholding so taxes don't ambush you. 3. You use other buckets for extra spending so you're not stacking even more taxable income on top of forced income. 4. You review annually because one-time events can change everything. Now, the skeptical alternative. This sounds like tax optimization, and I hate that. Fair. Here's how it can fail. If you chase perfect tax outcomes and ignore lifestyle, you can make yourself miserable. That's not the goal. The goal is to avoid obvious traps and build a plan you can follow. Now, let's map 3 plausible paths without pretending we can predict the exact market. Path 1. You plan early. In this world, RMD years are boring. You already reduced future pressure and built tax flexibility. Path 2. You don't plan early, but your balances are modest. In this world, the trap is smaller. Still worth managing, but it's not a crisis. Optional Path 3. Large tax-deferred balances with late planning. In this world, you feel forced. You feel like the ears is controlling your paycheck. That's when stress rises and mistakes happen. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Armed pain is often self-inflicted by ignoring the quiet years. Not because you were lazy. Because nobody made it urgent. But it is urgent. Just not loud. Here are the rules I use, and you can steal them. 1. Decide your maximum withdrawal guardrail first. Write it down. If you're losing sleep, you're pulling too hard, or you're invested too aggressive. 2. When markets run hard and you're up a lot, refill your cash runway. Not forever, just enough to buy you time. 3. Don't confuse income with safety. A high yield is not a safety guarantee. 4. The best time to make a retirement decision isn't when you're scared or hyped. It's when you can still breathe and do the math. So here's what we covered. The RMD tax trap is stacking, forced taxable income landing on top of other income streams. It sneaks up because retirees ignore the quiet planning window before RMD years. The fix is control. Estimate the future stack, use the planning window intentionally, and build tax bucket flexibility. Now, here are my questions for you. First, do you think your future RMDs will be small, medium, or large compared to your spending? Comment small, medium, or large. Second, would you rather pay a little more tax earlier for more stability later? Or keep taxes minimal now and accept uncertainty later? Comment stability or minimize now. If you got value out of this, subscribe and comment Retirement Risk Watch so I know you want to follow up when the next update hits. And if this helped you, share it with someone who's trying to retire without making expensive mistakes. All right, take care of yourself, stay sharp, and I'll talk to you soon. And just so we're crystal clear, this is educational content and commentary. It's my take based on publicly discussed information and my own reasoning. And it's not personal financial advice. I'm not your advisor. I don't know your goals or your risk tolerance. And I could be wrong. Do your own homework. Consider your situation. And if you need personal advice, get it from a qualified professional who knows your situation.